Welcome back to Norrath. So in the last episode we visited the jungle city of Khazak-Thul, and I have been hacking my way out of the jungle ever since, and we are about to enter the southern desert of Ro to make our way back to Freeport. So let's make our way carefully over the southern desert of Ro here. Hopefully we can get back to Freeport in one piece, and that's interesting. There appear to be some holes down there. I wonder what those are. So, let's land and have a closer look. Let's approach them carefully. The southern desert of Ro is a rather dangerous place, so we need to have our wits about us here. And, oh my. It appears to be a sarlacc pit. Well, we better make sure that we don't fall in there. We'll be a goner for sure. But since we are not in survival, we can get a little closer look at the sarlacc pit here. So as you can tell, it is pretty much just a hole in the desert with a large mouth arranged here. And if you get a little bit too close, well, as I've said, we've fallen in the sarlacc pit, so we're dead. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you, well, wait a minute. We're still in creative, so we're okay. Let's actually have a look around the sarlacc pit here. I'll give you a good and close look at this. Of course, we've got a little beak down here for the mouth of the sarlacc itself. And presumably, if you get down here and you stand on the magma blocks, you will start being digested by the sarlacc. But looking upwards, we can see that we have rings of teeth arranged here. First, we have 3 rows of spikes made up of end rods, and then we have some larger teeth down here made up of 2 rings of bone blocks. Finally, an appropriate use for the bone block. And the rest of the pit is pretty much just a circular series of red blocks. I've used red wool, red netherrack, and nether wart blocks. In previous models, I have used a bit of nether quartz down here as well. Those would look pretty good, I think, probably behind the teeth here. I may retrofit that in a future design, but this is the one I've got so far. It's pretty easy to build. If there's any interest in doing a tutorial on a sarlacc pit, I might do that. But otherwise, I think they are pretty self-explanatory. All you have to do is dig a big hole and line it with red blocks of whatever color palette you want to use, and then put in your rings of spikes and teeth and add a mouth down here as well. And make sure to have a opening up here in the sand, something that is very easy to fall into. It might be a pretty funny trap to lay for your friends if you want to build this on a server in the desert somewhere. Maybe add a TNT minecart down there. They will never know what hit them. Of course, there are quite a few sarlaccs. Down in the southern desert of Ro, we have another one over here. And another one around here somewhere. There's yet another one. I think I put about 7 total sarlaccs in the southern desert of Ro. I may add more, but I think that that's pretty good for the moment. However, we want to continue making our way back to Freeport because I've done some work on the harbors there that I want to show you. So here's the small wizard portal. We're going to be coming back to that one momentarily because, as you've seen from the thumbnail, our ultimate destination that we are going to be traveling to today is Qeynos. So from the point where we started all the way up to Freeport here, I want to give you an update on the world map of our travel plans for today. All right, I hope that brings you up to speed on where we're going to be headed, and we're almost back to the city of Freeport itself. We are coming in to the gate down here in South Freeport, the extra district I have added around here. But we want to make our way over to the Freeport Harbor area over this way, because I finally finished those ships that I have been building in Freeport for pretty much since I started. I want to take a look at them before we leave the city, since we are in the vicinity. And here they are. Here is the model for the ship. I was originally working on it over here, but I finished it and I have made some copy and paste models of it and put them in the various slits in the docks here. So let's take a look at that. Of course, the sails are raised on these models at the moment because they are in port. But what I'm going to be doing with these, I think it might be these two ships over here. These are going to be the ships that will take you to and back from the dwarven city of Caledon, which is several thousand blocks over in that direction. You will remember we were there a couple of episodes ago. And I think what I want to do for those is I want to have command block buttons, but in the captain's cabin. I want to have them back here and have the buttons here and have like a sign up here that will tell you where the teleport will go to. So we've got the main cabin here, the deck area, and there is some cargo holds down here as well. They're currently not empty because we are at the port, so everything has been unloaded over here on the docks. But of course, these models, as I've said, they're like half my work and half someone else's. So I've never really built a bunch of ships, so I decided to grab someone else's half-done model and sort of finish it and remodel it to my own specifications. And that's what I've done here with these. We can see on the back here we have some decorative carvings and some lanterns on the back here. And of course they have a red color scheme, as you can see, for the sails and painted along the hull. And up here we actually have an anchor. We have two of those on either side. They should probably actually be dropped or something. I need to add some gangways and everything to fully finish these out so we can get on board of those. But I think this one will probably be the one that goes to Caledon, and this one will be the one that comes back. And I actually forget what the names of these ships are. They are in EverQuest, by the way. But what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put a button down there which will teleport you to a ship somewhere over here in the Ocean of Tears, which will be sort of like a halfway between Caledon and Freeport. And on that ship, you will have to then click another button, which will take you all the way to Caledon. So it's sort of like a fast travel, but it's a little work that's going to be involved. But I think it will be fun, because that way you will get to see more of the world in that way. You can also see over here, we have some Viking ships that have made it all the way from Halas. However, there's not going to be a fast travel to Halas from Freeport. That is going to be done from Qeynos. And I'm actually going to be demonstrating that to you in the next episode after this one. But I just wanted to stop at the Freeport docks over here really quickly and show you that I am starting to fill in the ships and everything over here, like I have been threatening to do for quite a while. And over time, as I build more ship models, we're going to have like high elven ships docked here, and maybe some dark elven ships from Norrath up there. And pretty much all races that have ships will probably have some representation of that at Freeport. I also need to build some Qeynosian ships, but those are going to be, I think, Roman themed, and that means I need to build a trireme, which I don't have a model for yet, so that's going to be a little while before we get to that. So we actually want to leave Freeport now, head off into the Common Lands, and over to the other end of this aqueduct, so we can get to the Wizard Portal, and that is how we're going to be traveling to Qeynos. Alright, we've reached the other end of the aqueduct, and our portal over there is in sight. And we are going to be traveling to the plains of Khurana. As soon as we land and find the button for that. And the reason is because that portal is very close to Qeynos, so West Khurana. Once we have teleported, we then want to find, let's get my bearings here. We want to go in this direction. Over this bridge, over the Khurana River here. And that will take us over here to the Roman-themed city of Qeynos. You can tell it's very easily Roman-themed by the Roman aqueduct we have over here, stretching across the plains of Khurana, and all of the columns and the pediments and everything as well. And it's been a little while since we've been to Qeynos. So let's refamiliarize ourselves with the city. And our ultimate objective today is, of course, to take a look at the cathedral that I have constructed in Qeynos. I've meant this to be the centerpiece of the city for quite a while. This is not it. This is a standard Roman monument. Just sort of here for a decoration. We actually want to turn this way and go to the main courtyard in North Qeynos. And that is going to give us our first view of the cathedral. And here it is right here. Let's start by taking a good long look at the exterior here. Now, as you can tell, it is facing a large courtyard. This is the largest courtyard in the city. We're going to have the royal palace over here. And we've got a decent-sized Colosseum over here. A large fountain in the middle. And as you can see, it is arranged, and we've got two tiers of colonnades, and the towers each have two more tiers of colonnades for towers on those as well. And we have some imperial eagles for monuments on either side here. It's all decorated with trees and stained glass and carved pediments, and as you can also see, we have some royal lion statues on the top there. And so let's get a little bit closer so you can see some of the details. As you can see, I have done this in a Corinthian composite style with the columns, and we have some small round Roman arches on top of those. Of course, we have our entablature here, then we have another tier of exactly the same thing, and then we have our triangular pediment decorated up here as well. I want to put a clock in the center of this. I haven't done that yet, but that's something I want to do. So we can have maybe some chimes around this area. And over here, we can, well, you can already see hiding behind the front here, we have a rather large dome sitting behind this. So let's just gain a little bit of altitude so we can see this in its full glory. Now for this, I have shamelessly ripped off a bit of design from St. Paul's Cathedral here for this. But of course with my own materials and modifications for that. I would have the spire go up even more, but I've hit the current build limit in this version of Minecraft, so that's where it's going to have to stay for quite a while, but maybe someday I can extend it. So let's get a little bit closer here. We can see that on the top here we have our royal lions that I've done tutorials for previously, and they were made so they could decorate the cathedral up here. The roof is not quite complete. This blank area here with cobblestone needs to be filled in with more roofing material, so just ignore that for the moment. And let's get a closer look at the dome. As you can see, it is rather large with its column drum here, and then the boilerplate here, and then the rest of the dome on top of that. And it's got a lot of ribbing on the top here as well, made out of black stone and red nether bricks, with a large cupola on the top here. And since we're up to the top here, let's take a good look down at the city. This here so far gives us a bird's eye view of everything I have put in Qeynos so far and the general size of the city, but you can tell that the cathedral itself is taking up quite a large space in it. It's the largest building in the city by far, and I've actually had to expand the walls back there so I could fit in houses and everything around it, because we can't have just a city with a cathedral in it and not have any houses. We had to expand the walls of the city so we can make room for everything that I want to build in here. But I'm not really a big fan of heights, so let's start lowering our altitude and take a look at the side of the cathedral, because it does have a different design than the front of it. But you can see that we do have the two large main feature towers facing the front here, and the large dome behind that, and some smaller domes at the rear there. But along the side here, we can see that I have stolen some idea motifs from, I believe, the Library of Celsus at Ephesus for the side detailing here. So we have another double-stacked pediment here, but on the sides of those, and I think if we actually go around to the other side over here, the shadows will be more favorable, so you can see things a little bit better. And we'll swing around the corner here, and there we go. So you can see better how I have double stacked the alternating parts that go both forwards and then back in, then back out, then back in, then back out. And this is sort of a Roman motif they like to do. They would have things they would project forward and things they would recess back. And inside one of these recesses are set the eagle statue monuments. I have several of those on either side around here. And I think that the sides came out really nice. I wanted to have a classical facade for the building, because as you will see in a moment, when we go inside, the facade, it doesn't really tell you what is on the inside. And this is another trick I've stolen from St. Paul's, because I have put on the exterior of the building that I wanted to have, but I have also not sacrificed the interior that I wanted to have also. So let us land again, and now let us go inside of Qeynos Cathedral. And for that, I think I have just going to walk inside, play some music, and not say a word. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, let's walk around and take a closer look at the building while I explain a few things. So, the first thing that astute observers will notice is the design looks a lot like the Hagia Sophia, and that is on purpose because it's one of my favorite buildings. However, I have chosen to make some design alterations, and I have done that by pushing out the barrel vaults on either side here to make a bit more space. And as you will have noticed, there is a large carved eagle. We have two of those sitting in the top of the vault here at that level. We also have a rather large triforium that it is fully walkable, by the way. It goes all the way through the building at this level, so you can walk around and take a look at it from this angle, or you can go over here and have a look at it from this angle. And it's a rather large space. You can get up to this by taking the stairwell. So let's actually take the stairs down so I can show you where these come out at. And it's on the ground floor here. Of course, the floor down here is covered with a layer of black stained glass, by the way, to give us this shimmering reflective effect. And if we go over here and take a look down, we can see that a lot of the columns and everything are reflected in the glass. And below that, I just have a standard pattern of of bedrock and obsidian. Of course, we have several doors and chandeliers hanging around here as well. I'm not really done hiding all of the lighting in here that I need to. So it's still a work in progress, as I've said, but it's far enough along for me to show it to you. I think it's like 90 to 95% complete structurally. And doing all these vaultings behind here, this is quite challenging, actually, because as you can see, there are quite a number of them all over the place. And doing the large half domes over here with the three half domes that are inscribed into those, and making the scalloped pattern and everything around here also was quite challenging as well. And I hope you like my use of gold and gold ore and lapis and diorite in here. I think all of these colors really go well together to make a nice effect for a cathedral. So up here, as you can see, we have a double layer of columns that are on the interior here. All of this glass here, this needs to be done to be stained glass. I think it's just light blue now, but I need to put different colors in here. That's another project for the future. If we go all the way up to the dome here, we can see that there's another walkable area up here for you to look all the way down if you wanted to as well. And of course, since this is Minecraft, I have just used a hint of diamonds up here at the apex of the design for the dome as well. So if we lower down a little bit, you can see the triangular sections here. These four things are called pendentives, and they are structural support to fill in these four arches, so you can put a round dome on top of a square building. And I quite like using that whenever I can get a chance to. But for the rest of it, the materials down here, I have chosen to use the standard stone and the diorite to sort of mirror the designs we have on the exterior to tie the entire thing together. But if you remember, we do not see domes, or rather half domes, and barrel vaults on the exterior, and that is because I have hidden behind here. I have filled in these spaces with, we're not going to have time to look at it today, it's not really complete either. But behind some of these doors, I don't actually remember where the door is, around here somewhere. It's not the ones that go down. There are doors around here somewhere that lead up to chambers that I have included in the top of the building. I think I saw one over here. Nope, that's another one that goes down. Well, we can actually go down. There's another door around here that I want to show you. And if we go in this area, we can see that we have a corkscrew staircase. And these are actually inside of the towers themselves. And they're done like so. And when you get up to the top of these, they will actually take us up into the large round areas we saw on top of the towers where we came in at. But one of these landings will also take us out of the building. I can remember where that one is. There it is. So if we land here and open these doors, we can see that we can crawl out of the cathedral at this level up here as well. So the entire thing is designed to be fully walkable to get all the way through it. I think at some point when this is fully finished, I will release this as a separate download from Norrath, but this is going to be in the next version. I think version 1.3, when I release that, I want to sometime in the spring when that is going to be ready. So you will be able to come here and take a look at the Qeynos Cathedral yourself in all of its glory. But I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. I just wanted to give you a little sneak preview of the Qeynos Cathedral. We're going to be seeing a lot more of this building as I get all the details finished and everything done in fine detail. And in the next episode, we're actually going to be heading over here to the Qeynos docks area because I have some ships over there to show you, as well as a little bit more of the Colossus, which you can see just in the upper left-hand corner there. I want to try and get that finished, or at least more finished for the next episode, and we're going to take a look at that, and then we're going to head all the way up to Hellas in the frozen northern regions, because I have a lot of work I've done up there that I need to show you as well. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.